for the soul.
RT News on this one guy's channel on RT News, which is Russian television. And he was a historian, and he explained how white people may have had their differences, but how once they arrived in this country, they all had one common thing in mind, and that was to enslave and keep down the black man. And I know the guy's channel, but I just can't think of it. And I was watching because I watch a lot of history. I used to follow Dr. Ben. I currently follow Dr. Renoko. So when Miss Fang was pointing out about this east part of Africa and all this stuff, we have to understand, based on Dr. Ben's teachings, if you know who he is, that North, South, East, West Africa, they all look different. And when Renoko, who Dr. Ben has now passed away, he originally claims he is from Egypt. Okay, but he was a scholar and a historian here, well followed. He's well traveled. He's a historian and an archaeologist. I currently listen to Renoko. So when we talk about how we're got an Eastern, we're almost acknowledging that Persia never invaded Africa, that made Egyptians look the way that they do. But prior to that, they were looking like Ethiopians. East Africans looked African. West Africans looked West African. North, South, whatever, prior to the invasion of the Persians and the Europeans. But I digress. I just wanted to go back with talking about the fact that when you're talking to white people, they don't say, I'm just white. If you have intimate conversations, if you grew up with them, they'll tell you they're Irish, they're this, they're that, but they don't just say they're just white.
They're referred to their nationalities.
Not their race. Absolutely. They refer to their nationality, ethnicity, or culture, never race.
Okay.
Black people are the only ones.
Is it not obvious though? If you're talking to a white person, why should they be like, "Oh, I'm white," when it's obvious as day when you're looking at them that they white? So what purpose would
well, let me say this. Growing up predominantly in a white environment.
Can you hold on a second?
Okay, that's fine.
So what purpose would it be to ask somebody what their race is? It's the same way where if a white person was to come to me and be like, "Hey, where you from?" I'm not gonna be like, "I'm black." I'm gonna be like, "Oh, I'm American. My parents are from America. I'm ADOS," because evidently, obviously, when they look at me, they gonna know that I'm black. It's not even nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So to say that they don't refer to themselves as white, but when they fill out an application, they're gonna say that they white. If you look on their Tinder profile, it's gonna say white. You look on their LinkedIn, you know what I'm saying? So let's not pretend as if they don't know that they white or they don't acknowledge the fact that they white.
Okay, let's bench a little bit of this discussion. Actually, no.
Can we move on past this though, because it's going to become like a pseudoscience and just a circular type discussion.
Let me just make this comment as I was trying to say.
Pseudo historical.
Right. Okay. Dr. Ben is not pseudo historical, and if you knew anything about it, that's an insult, and you probably know that if you know about Dr. Ben. But anyways,